Hi everyone, welcome to the next video in the series here from Daydreams by Hanna Karlzon, and we have got these lovely flowers to do today. I am going to come in closer so we can get started and have a think about what we're going to do with these. Now, I have been looking at my Polychromos and there are some reds that I don't use that often that I thought we could use for the flowers that might work quite well. We have the sort of reds and pinks, I guess. We have these sorts of colours. They're sort of more muted red tones, browny reds rather than, I guess. So I thought they might be fun. We might want to use some darker. Yeah, I might use this one as well. Okay, I'll just put them aside. So I'm going to use the reds for the petals and do each flower the same. I'm going to start with this one, which is number 191. I think I know which red it is, but I'm just going to check so I get it right. This is the Ponpian red. Okay, I've got my little booklet handy. Now I'm going to colour over these for now because I'm going to colour those, I'm going to do them with pen later. But if you don't want to do them in pen, then you may need to colour around them because you won't be able to necessarily colour over them unless you're going to do them black or something like that. So I'm just trying to fade my colour towards the tip like that. So putting a few more layers down here, over and over, and then less as we go up. It's quite simple. Well, I say it's quite simple, the idea is simple, the technique takes time to master and then you go out of the line like me. But it's just a matter of practice and I've done a lot of practice, so you know, be patient with yourself if you can't get it first time. It's you know, it's just about practicing, try your best. And we'll be adding a lot more layers of colour anyway, so if your first layer isn't quite right, it's not going to matter. We'll be covering it up. But I'm just going to do all of them together. I find it's much quicker to use one colour on everything and then another colour on everything. What I used to do was I would do one petal first and master it and then do the others the same, but I wouldn't always remember what I'd done if I wasn't recording or whatever. And I'd find I'd take an age on the first one and then all the others I'd be much quicker on, and I would probably miss out stages because I couldn't quite remember what I was doing, and the first one would just stand out and look so much better than all the rest. I don't know if anyone else can relate to that or not. So I'm just trying to work out, that is the edge of the petal. I was just making sure it wasn't the leaf. So now I do them all, so they're all done like that. They're all a bit different. I mean, this one's a bit darker than these. This one looks a bit darker. I don't mind. It's just my start, so it's okay. Now, I'm going to go darker first. I'm going to use this as a Caput Mortuum. Mortuum? I don't know. And put a little bit of darker colour right down in the centre there where it's near to the... I don't even want to go as far out as the, or maybe just a little bit past these. Okay, and then on every one. I just want to start making it, putting in some sort of depth, I suppose. I don't know if I used the right words, but anyway, it doesn't really matter. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing, that's all that matters really. And you would have seen what it looked like when it was finished, because that's in my thumbnail, which means you get it, you know what it's going to look like. I don't. It's quite strange now, isn't it? But anyway, makes it sound like we're travelling in time. We're not quite, are we? Okay, so that's that one done, and now I'm going to grab the Venetian red. Sorry, I don't know. It's not very easy to see. Hang on, I haven't got my lamp on. That's better. Venetian red. And just extend this up a little bit. And now I'm sort of aiming to tidy up a little bit, fill in some of the gaps that I left, so that my aim is that this sort of first half looks fairly neat. as neat as I can get it. I'm really not a neat colorist at all. I see some people's work and I'm blown away that it's really even and in the lines, and I'm like, wow. But I know some people are much slower than me. It's just in my way. I like doing everything fast. I'm a fast person. I don't run fast, but you know, when it comes to doing chores, doing work, anything, I go at 100 miles an hour. So it's just the way I am. I think my sister's the same, my mother's the same. So I don't know if it's just teaching from my mum or whether it's just something we have in us. I just don't know. But I just rush around everywhere. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to this red. I'm trying to remember. This was the Ponpian red, and draw that colour out a little more. And we're going to not come all the way to the tip though yet, because we've got a pink for the end of the flower. This is quite a muted red colour. It's quite an unusual colour, a sort of almost a vintagey colour. I just wanted to do something a little bit different. You know, I could have easily done a really bright red, but that would be a bit similar to our ladybird. I didn't really feel like doing pink and purple today. I don't know why. We've got a lot of that going on in our Stardust, so I just thought I would do something a little bit different. Now we've got dots on these flowers like we had on our mushrooms. I don't know if you've seen the mushroom video first yet. It was the first one in the series, but if you've missed it you can go back, have a look at it after you've done this one or watch this one. And there were little dots on it, so I decided that they needed a bit of glitter. And I'm wondering whether to do that with this flower as well. We've got some dots, we could put on some glitter. I'm not sure yet, so I'm going to wait, because it's nice, isn't it, glitter? It's fun, but will it work? My pink is called Dark Flesh. I'm just going to sharpen it. It's very blunt. There we go. There you go. I don't know how easy it is to see. I feel like I'm squiffy. Is that better? Squiffy. I know someone I know from America said they don't use that word. It's got a double meaning, I guess. It means sort of wonky or I don't know, not straight. But it also can mean slightly drunk, like tipsy. And I think that's because you might not be able to walk straight. I'm assuming it's sort of linked. We're having a great discussion at lunchtime about words. My son was talking about how many French words are in the English language, because we used to be ruled by a French king in England at one time, and it was the law that you had to speak French. Now, people who didn't come into contact with the king, you know, the sort of peasants, I suppose, wouldn't have really learnt much French because there was no need. But the sort of gentry would have had to. And so we sort of got French words coming into our language, and some of them are really quite obvious. And my son said anything that begins with CH that has a S sound, so chef or chandelier or champagne are all French, whereas normally for CH in English it would be ch sound, like chair, for example. Because there are some really obvious words. I mean, we all know champagne is a French word, and cafe, and then some words we use like liaison, and you can actually hear the French accent in the word when you say it, which is quite fun. Right, I'm going to use some black in the centre on these dots. I'm going to try and do it with pencil just in case you don't have a pen. So we'll use the black and we'll see if it works. And then my son said blancmange, of course, is French. We said things like chaise longue and armoire. Armoire? Are sort of words we use in English, or in England, I should say. But we were interested in looking to see whether there were any Scottish, Irish, or Welsh words that have got into the English language, because you would have thought they would have been far more likely. But actually, there were less, far less. Now Welsh, sorry to wipe my nose, Welsh is interesting. The history of England and Wales is not very nice, as it is not with Scotland either. Wales, the word Wales means slave, so that gives you an idea. I don't know a lot about the history, but it sort of gives you a bit of an idea, doesn't it? We basically pushed them into that part of the country because we didn't want them, which sounds lovely. I'm sure most English people do not have the same feelings now. I'm going to put a little black at the bottom of each of the petals just to give them a little bit more shadow there. But there were more Scottish and Irish words in the English language than there were Welsh, which was quite interesting. Right. I'm going to do, no I'm not, I'm going to do some white dots on each of these black dots, and it needs a lift. I'm going to put some glitter on the dots like I said, but we could do the leaves first because otherwise I'll just make a big mess, because I know what I'm like. I'm not going to use the sort of emerald greens like we used here. I'm going to use a more muted green, I think, because I think it goes okay with the red, a more muted colour, but also it will look more different. It will look more different? Does that even make sense? I don't know. So I'm grabbing a few greens and I will show you them as we go. So I'm going to start with the, that's wrong, that's in the wrong place. Hold on. The leaf green. I was looking for the leaf green. I picked up the permanent green. It's not, the permanent green's got a little bit too much brown in for my liking for this picture. Now what I want to do is make them darker at the bottom and lighter at the tip. So I'm going to put quite a few layers down here and then reduce them as we go up the leaf. But this one's only a little bit. I'm just going to put the tiniest bit like that. Now this one, you see, of course we've got most of the dark green here, but it pops out here, so I'm just going to put the smallest bit again. And we'll go over that with a lighter colour. So I thought it was quite funny that, you know, you have quite obvious Irish words like shamrock and limerick, but and Cayley, but you also have and crake, I think it is. But you also have words like whiskey, which has never occurred to me was sort of from that language. It's quite sort of from Scottish and Irish languages, because they both got the same sort of roots. That was quite fun. But my my niece and nephew live on the border of Wales, and they have to learn Welsh at secondary school. My nephew's already there at secondary school. He's finished his second year, but my my niece starts this year in September. Of course, it is September when this video is going out, isn't it? So next time I see them, I'm going to ask them to teach me some Welsh words. In fact, we were thinking we might be seeing them, but I don't know if we will now, because their dad's got COVID, grass green, but he's okay. He's just feeling a bit rough. He'll be all right. He'd given up smoking quite a long time ago, so he feels confident that he'll be well. But anyway, I'm sure he will. So I'm just going over the top of this sort of area where I faded the green and then taking it gently up the leaf. I've been looking at this page here. Look at all this detail. It's going to be an interesting one. I was thinking, would I do a pastel colour over the whole page and then pick out the details after to make it easier? Not on the rabbit, it's the hair, I think, actually. It's got very long ears. Might be a rabbit. You know, in the background, it might be easier to just cover it in sort of green pastel. But if I look carefully, that's not going to work, because there's flowers, there's toadstools, there's gemstones, there's sort of corn or maize, that sort of thing. So yeah, it's an interesting one. We'll get there. I'm about to start a Rita Berman page actually. My my friend in America has suggested one for a buddy colour, so it should be fun. I picked the book and she picked the page, so that was good fun. So we'll have a go at that. Now the road tips don't need to be too dark. I'm going to use the light green. This is probably the lightest Polychromos green. You could argue the light phthalo green might be a little bit lighter, but look how lovely and warm it is. I'm going to put it over everything. I think it will just help to blend together, add a nice warmth to the colour. I do like a bit of warmth. My key is, you can't see the key above, it's got so much glitter on that it's shining in my face. Quite funny. I was saying how the glitter doesn't come off, and it hasn't on this page at all. I did open a book that I'd used Stickles in, was it yesterday? And there was some glitter on the opposite page that had come off, so it obviously does come off a little bit, but it seems really good to me. It seems to stay on much better. I don't know if it's because it's not so fine. Maybe I don't know. I don't really know about the chemistry of it all, you know, with the glue and how well it sticks. But anyway, I'm very much liking them. So we're coming to the end, I think, of our leaves. But I'm going to add another colour. I can't be satisfied with just 3 colours per leaf. Let's add another one. We've got a whole 120 here beside us. And then the picture we've picked out to colour is a very detailed picture with lots of different items which all need to be different colours. It's a scene, so I will make it colour realistic, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I'm thinking about what to do for it while I'm colouring here. What I want to do is just put a little bit more dark colour at the base. I'm just trying to choose one. Oh, excuse me. I'm so yawny. This is the Chrome Oxide Green. I think this will work. But I'm going to lose a little bit. Now I'm tired. I was woken up in the night by this most terrible noise. And I woke up and I felt my husband wake up too. And it was a horrible screaming noise outside, but we knew what it was. But I looked outside just to check. Now these cats fighting outside. It was quite amazing to watch them actually. They were running down the road and biting at each other as they went. So they were running past our house making a heck of a noise. But it was quite amusing really. We soon settled back to sleep. But it's like, oh goodness, but the children didn't even hear it. Well, one son's in the back of the house and we're at the front, so I guess. Although when they go past, our house is sort of sideways onto the road, so they would have gone by. Right, time to pretty up our flowers. I'm just grabbing my pencil case, finding what I need. I think I used the number 10 Gellyroll, only because my 8 doesn't seem to be working very well. And I'm going to put a dot in the middle of each circle going around here, each of these sort of seed pods, whatever they are, and each of the ones in the middle of there. It's really simple. And my black that I've used here looks very brown because there was the reds underneath. But you can make it darker and black it if you wish to. I think just adding a few dots almost makes it look a bit more three-dimensional with very little effort. Now I'm going to use some Stickles. Rather than using the glaze, sparkling glaze like I did on the crystals, I'm going to use this one. This is called Diamond. You can see it's got a really nice sheen to it. And we're going to make these flowers sparkle. I don't know if I did use this one on the Stardust. So I'm going to put a bit onto the end of my makeup cotton, whatever it's called, cosmetic cotton bud. Put a bit there, a bit there, a bit there, whoop, a bit there. Okay, and then spread once I've got a bit less on the tip. can't really see what I'm doing, but it looks like I've got too much there. Actually, oh, if I turn my head, I can see. That's it. I think it works quite well. There's a lot of glue on that one and not much in the way of glitter. So if you make sure when you're doing this, you're tilted so that you can see the shine, and then you can work out where they are, which is what I'm doing. I'm tilting my head. I probably look very silly, but you can't see me, so it's fine. You can never see me. My children always say, "Mum, you should do a face reveal." I'm like, this isn't Minecraft videos. I don't need to reveal what I look like. You can see on my Facebook profile anyway. There we go. Glittery flowers. There. Let me just put them straight again. There we go. So those are our flowers. I just thought it would be fun to add a little bit of glitter. I think it does. It lifts the pictures, doesn't it? It doesn't always work with a picture. I'm not convinced it would have worked on our bugs, but it can really make something look very pretty. So and when the colours are quite plain like this, we don't have a lot going on with the leaves and the flowers. It's just nice to add a little bit of sparkle. I'm tempted to add something to the leaves to make them a bit shinier, but I'm not sure. I think we want the flowers to shine, don't we? Not the leaves, so I think we'll leave it there. Leave. Sorry, I shall go now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a really lovely day. Try and find time to do something fun, something relaxing, and just enjoy yourself. And happy colouring.